What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Heresy from the Haven from lovely Spokane, Washington. We're your hosts. I'm Bob.
I'm Nelson.
And what are we doing? We're doing an LVO recap.
Yep. We both got back from LVO this week and going to be talking about our experiences there.
We both had very different experiences.
We did. Yes.
We'll get to that.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
But let's talk about the venue.
Yeah. So first off, this is technically the second LVO this year.
It is.
Because LVO used to be in January. It's now in October.
Yep. And I was at the January one.
Yep. I was not. This was my first LVO.
Right.
This was your millionth.
I missed COVID year, but otherwise every LVO.
Yeah. So we're coming at it from a couple different perspectives. So LVO October now going forward. It's also now at the World Expo Center convention place.
Those words mixed up one way or another.
World Expo in the name.
Yeah,
I don't know what follows it. But
which is cool because no longer by the Strip. It's down by Fremont,
Yep.
which is my favorite part of Vegas. I don't like the Strip at all anymore.
Yeah, and likewise the hotel block that they get now is at the Golden Nugget. So it's about a half a mile from the convention center.
It is a little bit of a bummer not having always past LVOs the event and the hotel are in the same location.
Yeah.
World Expo Center does not have a hotel, so they had to deal with the Golden Nugget, but they had those shuttles going back and forth. Those were spot on. They were
the shuttles every 30 minutes. It was a big
shuttles.
Greyhound bus that was actually very comfortable and air conditioned. That was super nice. Something weird though, they did kind of cut out on Sunday a little early. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But I also walked several times from the Golden Nugget to the convention hall just to kind of get some steps in. And it wasn't a bad walk. It was like 20 minutes, something like that. And the weather in October is actually very nice in Vegas.
This year it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
This year it was.
Yeah, fair enough. So talk a little bit about the expo center that I was at. I really enjoyed it. It was a massive convention center.
That was
huge.
One of the big pushes to move from the Rio. And unfortunately, January wasn't available at the expo center, so they went to October. And I think that actually has a lot to do with the fact that the finals, LVO was always the finals for the ITC year. And now that Games Workshop's taken that over, theirs is the US Open finals in
November.
Atlanta. It's in November, so they wanted the 40K one, LVO 40K, to be right before that, so somebody could spike up points. Before that. But it's a bit of a tough move going to October. This year being the transition year, running 2 in 1 year, I'm sure was pretty hard on them. But that Expo Center was fantastic. They outgrew the Rio. That was the other part I was going to say. Is the Rio got too small for them. The room was great.
Yeah, I like it. I was really, when I showed up Thursday and I saw all the tables and everything out, walking through before anyone was really there, I was worried like, oh man, this is going to be so loud in here. And at least for my part in the Heresy section, I never had a problem hearing. It was actually like very quiet in my little neck of the woods.
Yeah, we were off to kind of a side a bit. We had some space around us. I think I did hear some of the people who hadn't really played in big events before there saying it was pretty loud. In the 40K section. That was because there's a lot of population density in that part of the room. One of the things I thought was pretty great was in past LVOs, like at the Rio, there's separate rooms.
Yeah.
So, 40K was in one room. And, Heresy and AOS in another room and Legion in another room. And so unless you went and explored different rooms, you really didn't see the other. This being in one gigantic room, everybody's in the same room. So you can just walk around. Vendors are in the same room.
Yeah.
A lot of great vendors there this year. Met a lot of great vendors.
Yeah.
I liked the venue. I really did.
I did too. One of the other things they did, so it wasn't like the hotel wasn't attached to it, right? And so one of the things I was worried about is bringing like gear back and forth, right? When we went to Tacoma, it was really nice, like, because the Marriott is attached to the convention center. I just wheel my cart, back up to the elevators and up to my room. They offered gear storage this year at LVO, which was really actually very well run and very nice. Okay. Basically, at the end of the day, I take my, I pack everything up in my bag. I take it over there. They take a picture of your gear. They check it in. They give you, okay, it's at slot 20. Here's a picture of what your gear looks like before it goes there. And then when you show up the next morning, you have a barcode basically assigned to you. That's part of your invite. You walk up, they scan your barcode, they go grab your gear, pull it out. It's in a back room. You don't you don't go in that room. No one's allowed in except for their guys.
That's
and
great.
like it worked out very well. I was really really pleasantly surprised with that kind of service. Yeah. One of the other things I heard about this particular venue compared to like the Rio last year was that I heard people complain about lack of food options nearby. So they had a couple food trucks outside the convention center. They also had kind of these markets in there that had like sandwiches and drinks and pizza and stuff like that. But like I heard a couple people saying that like I guess at the Rio there was
they did a food court this last year. They opened the Rio opened a food court as they were remodeling that opened up a ton of options.
Yeah.
Previously, the Rio, even though it's near the strip, was still far enough off the strip that there was really no walking options.
Yeah.
So whoever in the Rio was there. And first couple of years after COVID in the Rio was pretty rough. There was no food options. But this last year in the Rio, they did have this big food court that had some options. And then, but I think with the market being kind of off of Fremont, you're kind of stuck with what's there.
And maybe that's something that they figure out or change next year. But from my perspective, it didn't really affect me because I know going into from the Spring Open, from Tacoma Open, like I'm gonna have at max an hour to get lunch. Oftentimes my games run a little bit longer and I have like 30 minutes. Sometimes I've had like 15 minutes. So I basically plan accordingly when I go to these events. I have a big breakfast. I maybe pack a snack or something. So that I don't actually really need to get like a meal for lunch, right? Going into next year, I might pack a small cooler or something with a sandwich or whatnot, so that I can
When you were talking about too, maybe getting a Airbnb next year instead of being at the Golden Nugget.
Yeah, that kind of goes into the second thing. Like the Golden Nugget, nice enough hotel, like, but I don't like to gamble, and I'm not really like. It's kind of like a resort type thing. And
the tower you were in had that reggae festival right outside the window that was really loud. So when we got there, because we were there longer, we got in about 4 days early. We knew we weren't going to be going out on the strip much. We wanted to hide for a few days, and we went and upgraded our room to a different tower that had a microwave refrigerator, coffee maker that the Carlson Tower didn't have.
Yeah.
And we couldn't hear that reggae festival at all.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. There was a reggae festival. Every night I was there, it was like directly outside my room. And I mean, it was loud enough that I had earplugs in and noise canceling headphones and still like was hearing it. That was miserable.
The room difference I noticed from the Carlson to I think it was the Ford Tower, I think. It was $20 a night difference.
Yeah.
And the hotel room was massively different.
Yeah.
Like it was like more of a suite. It was very much well worth extra $160 for our 8 nights.
But I think next year, because I'm staying for a few days after LVO next year, spoiler alert, I'm already planning to go back. I'm going to get just an Airbnb and like a rental car and, kind of just,
you figure out your comfort zone. You go to a big event like that.
Yep.
But great event.
Yeah, great event.
Well,
so
I heard it was a great event.
Yeah.
So
you had a little bit different experience.
Yeah, I had a different experience. It had nothing to do with the event organizers. Reed's an awesome guy. Had nothing to do with the venue, had nothing to do with anything. So my wife and I, we drove from Spokane, Washington to Southern California 2 weeks previous to LVO for another big event we do called Wasteland Weekend, and get to play Mad Max in the desert. But instead of driving all the way back to Spokane and then turn around and flying right back to Vegas, we decided just to drive straight to Vegas.
Yeah.
So we drove straight to Vegas. I still had a handful of models I had to finish for my Army. So 2 weeks gone from home already. We drive to Vegas. We get in on Monday. The event venue opens on Thursday.
Yep.
So we changed rooms. So we had a little more of a kitchenette. We did some grocery shopping. We got a bunch of laundry done. And then I started working on my Army.
Yeah.
And I got everything done. Past the finish line. It's great.
It was beautiful.
Pretty exhausted at this point. I normally travel with a PAC 720 from, why am I drawing a blank on the name? The Army case.
Battle foam.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And this time I did a Magna rack with everything magnetized down because it's going to
stay
in the
driving
back of my RV, right? So I'm just going to drive. I'll leave it in there. Well, we got all finished. It was the morning of. I think we were going to meet you for the Uber Friday morning to go to the event.
Right before the first game.
Literally, like we're even running a few minutes late, and I had my PAC 720 sitting on my cart, and I didn't lock down the back of my cart. I start rolling it out of my hotel room, pushing it by the bag on the top of the cart, and the side of the cart folded, and my bag went upside down off the cart, landed upside down, and I just sat there in disbelief. I mean, these are all resin models.
Yeah, that Spartan is a brick.
Yep. And I took a deep breath. My wife looked at me, seeing at what level I was going to explode.
Yeah.
And I picked it up and I rolled it back over, and it sounded like gravel inside of a tin can. And I was done.
Yeah.
I was done. I didn't even open it. We did a video that we'll post up, me actually doing the unveiling of how bad it was. A lot less things broke than I expected, but the ones that did went pretty far. They
broke hard.
They broke hard. And it was, that Spartan did a lot of work on
You also
Lork and frickin' and Styvath,
yeah.
my 2 dreadnoughts. I mean, they're just shattered.
You had your tools in there too.
I had my toolkit in there in case anything was going to happen. Yeah, it was pretty rough. So I all credit to the attendees. I still brought the bag to the event, and we opened it there. And to the attendees,
we'll put up some pictures and stuff.
The amount of people that were like, "Oh my gosh, let's all sit down right now with super glue and start fixing it." Other people saying, "Hey, I brought an extra army. Do you want to play?" But I'm not going to lie. I mean, this is 2.5 weeks in now. Getting to that finish line, the wind was just out of my sails. I'm just like, I'm guys, I'm just done. Like, I'm so heartbroken. My World Eaters are my passion.
Yeah.
And even putting it back together, the amount of chipped paint, the amount of busted off little pieces that were just missing.
All of those little resin studs on the tracks.
My Spartan has the Anvil Industries. I think the claws all the way up and over. The bunch of those snapped off. It's pretty rough. Yeah. So needless to say, I decided just to drink all of LVO. Yeah. I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. So I didn't play this year, unfortunately. But
you actually surprisingly didn't have that many chain axes break.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, all the resin Forge World hand holding the axes on my 16 despoilers, I think only 2 snapped.
Yeah.
And that was one of my biggest concerns before I opened it, because I expected like all of them to be snapped. Yeah. Like all the phalanx blades are snapped, all the meteor hammers are snapped.
Well, the meteor hammers, those things will explode on their own.
Right. And it's all broken. But the axes, I'm like, how am I going to figure out which axe goes to which guy? Fortunately, because of my blood splatter technique, anything that paint's chipped, I'm just going to go in and kind of intentionally put blood splatters in places. But it's pretty heartbreaking. I mean, that army's done real well in appearance at most events I go to, and the amount of conversions and time, and we're looking at it. It's sitting over there. I still haven't even started the repairs yet.
It's hard to appreciate if you haven't had, like, I've never had something like that happen, but I can't even really imagine
it was rough.
Kind of,
it was rough. I'm like, I don't need to pack it in foam. Like, I fly. I check it under the plane when I fly, and I've never had issues because I pack it so well in foam. And I'm like, I'll just do the Magna Rack. It'll be easier this time. And I watched that thing. It's like slow motion, just as this thing just upside down about 3 feet up. And
I mean, this could have happened at any event, or it could have happened here, right? Like,
it's just that cart just not locking the back of the cart. It was a stupid mistake, but it happened. Well, so they're just toy soldiers. End of the day, they're just toy soldiers. I can fix them.
We have the technology. We can rebuild it.
We have the means. Bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about your LVO experience.
Yes. So my first LVO, I had a great time.
Good.
I had a fantastic 4 games. So the way that this Heresy at LVO was set up is it was 2 games Friday, 2 games Saturday, and then a mega battle on Sunday. It was all narrative themed for Beta Garmin.
3rd edition.
Yes, 3rd edition. We were playing 3rd edition rules. I mean, Reed did an excellent job setting all this up. It was a ton of fun. So first game Friday was against a very nice man named Fraser.
That's a great guy.
Originally from New Zealand, but living in Arizona, I think Tucson. He was a fantastic opponent. He was playing Dark Angels, and we were running a mission just out of the standard book. Couple things. It was a great game. We had a lot of fun playing back and forth, very chill. A couple things to note from that game that I noticed was the Saturnine Terminators. They actually did quite a bit of work this game. So I'm running a 5-man block of Saturnine Terminators and a Saturnine Praetor, all in a Spartan. So our deployments on this game were like really, really far apart on edges of the board. And so it took us a little bit of time to actually meet each other. But when I got up on him, the Spartans came out of, or the Saturnine Terminators came out of the Spartan. Those particle shredders if they're going into anything with power armor, anything that doesn't have a 2-up save, they're toast. Yeah, the particle shredder shred. So they cleared a 15-man tack squad.
Oof.
And then because this edition, you can shoot and charge at different targets. They then charged a predator and blew up the predator. So it was a very, very good turn for the Saturday Night Terminators there. They didn't really do much else the rest of the game because they were at that point they were out of the Spartan, and I didn't really have a good position to get the Spartan back into them. And they just kind of, they were too far away from anything.
And points level, you may not have made up the points of the Praetor and the 5.
Yeah,
and
maybe
Spartan,
not.
But
it was cool.
The disruption in the middle of the table, plus it's going to keep people away. He's going to keep stuff away
for sure.
from that.
Look, this list is not points efficient. Points efficiency is not something that I really concern myself with. Again, I play every Heresy game the way that I would play like a game of Commander. I don't care about winning or losing. I just want to do something cool. I want to pop off once. And this was my pop off for this game. The rest of the game, Vindicators, my opponent ran a couple of Vindicators. Those things
they do work
very strong. I am terrible about remembering to space out my units. That's something I really...
We have templates for it. We have 2-inch gap templates.
I know. I need to get better at that. But yeah, those Vindicators just...
Last time we played, I'm like, spread your stuff out.
Yep. Yeah, no. They minced my tack squads and my headhunters, but... I still actually won the game on points.
Okay.
Just because line 2 on tack squads is just so good. And also being able to infiltrate headhunters on points, I'm always scoring. So, And then terrain, this is a common theme for all my games. The terrain was great. I loved, I think, Reed and I think Rob and, a couple other guys that brought terrain for this. It was beautiful terrain. Really well placed. There was great, line of sight was, very good on all this.
Did you get to play on that bridge table?
I did not. No.
That was a cool table.
That was a very cool table.
I wanted to play on that if I had played.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But
I was tired.
So game 1 was great. Went into game 2. Game 2, I played against Nick from Colorado. Also a fantastic dude to play against. He was a ton of fun. He was running Blood Angels.
Yeah. Great guy.
And he was running a Mastodon.
Right.
So this was my first time playing against a Mastodon. He was running, basically it was a Mastodon with as much, Cataphractii Terminators and Cataphractii and Tartaros Terminators that you could fit in it. And then...
It's a clown car.
Yeah, yep. And then he had, it was jump packs, Blood Angels, jump packs. So
he's fast assault.
He's fast assault. Yep. That was a great game as well. Mastodon can kill a Spartan in one turn.
I believe it.
Turns out, yeah.
I haven't read the Melta array thing he's got out
8
front.
damage.
Yeah. Okay.
8 damage in Melta range, and it's a blast, like 5-inch blast template, missing. I think.
What is what's the range on the Melta?
It's like 8 inches.
Okay.
So you got to be right up on it.
It's not. That's pretty good though. Still.
Yeah. No, it's like very, very good. The other thing that Mastodons have is those damn flare shields. So for those of you who don't know, the Mastodon has like 20 some odd wounds or something. It has 1 million wounds. But it also can take these flare shields, 2 of them, which basically are like a single like point of damage negation.
Yeah, just like Titans have.
Yeah,
you have to strip the shields before you start doing
damage. So of course I'm shooting in this Mastodon with my Spartan and the 3 damage las cannon.
So lesson learned: hit it with the lighter weapons first, get the shields off, hit it with the heavy weapons.
So I hit it with the lighter weapons first, missed. Hit it with the 3 damage arrays, and did actually manage to take off a flare shield. But that was all I did. There was I think Nick said he played, all of the games that he played during the weekend. Not a single person did a point of damage against Mastodon. But that's kind of that thing. Like, you look at that and you're like, there's just no way I'm going to kill this thing. So why even try?
Sometimes better just ignore it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let it eat a big hole in his points and go after everything else.
Yeah. So unfortunately in this game, Saturday Night Terminators did not really do a whole lot. They got into combat very quickly, and I was, excited to see what they could do in combat. My Saturday Night Terminators I run with 1 disintegrator cannon, and then the fist, whatever their version of the power fist is. They got into combat against some Cataphractii Terminators with lightning claws and got shredded. So they
with the lightning claws, really.
Lightning claws, yeah. The lightning claws were really. He was rolling.
Breaching 6.
Yeah, he was rolling good on those. And I don't have like I don't have a banner on them or anything, right? So they're losing. If they lose combat, they're running. So yeah, the I mean, I think he hit me with Cataphractii and then the Tartaros, right? He had a couple different Terminator squads coming out of that Mastodon that did work against that. My disintegrators on the veteran tactical squad also did nothing this game.
Oh, jeez.
10 veteran disintegrators, 8 of them with the regular disintegrator rifles, 2 of them with the heavy disintegrators, all shot into a I think it was the deep striking what's the Blood Angels special?
They got the ones with spears and ones with the guns.
These are the ones with the shields, I think.
Well, they have to have a weapon too.
Yeah, I don't know what weapon. It was some.
Didn't matter. You guys died.
I did all of that shooting into a squad of Terminators. I did 1 wound.
Oh, the Terminators.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
the Terminators.
Gotcha.
So 10 veteran tac squad with disintegrators did 1 wound, and that wound was to themselves. It was overload. So yeah, those guys did nothing, and that was a theme for almost the entire event. That might be a unit that gets dropped.
Do you think it was the way you were rolling, the way you were using them, or just the overall effectiveness of the squad?
I think disintegrators on the veterans are strength 4, and I think that's just basically worthless. Okay. Like they need to be strength 5 to actually they're not expensive. But I mean, it's a veteran tac squad that is expensive in and of itself.
Options with that squad,
and it's really hard. Like on they're AP2, so that's nice, but they're strength 4, so you're missing on the things that you actually want the AP2 for.
Right.
And the AP2 going into veterans, I mean, there's probably a better way to deal with that.
Sure.
So I don't know. They look cool.
And you were sticking with you wanted to do the Saturnine.
Yeah,
box,
the Saturnine box,
awesome,
right?
sure.
So, yeah, and then other things that happened that game. The Saboteur actually got a shot off with his Bane Strike shotgun, and actually did some work. I think he did.
It's a freaking Saboteur, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I think he did. He did a couple wounds against a. He had a Praetor and a veteran squad, and he softened the squad up, and then Exodus standing still. Domed his Praetor, 3 wounds straight off. Yep, yeah. So that was a very cool thing as well. But I ultimately lost that game. There was he had that in the bag pretty handedly. All those Terminators, sure. So that was game 2. All right, and so that brings us to round 3. Mm-hmm. So first game on Saturday. Yep. Played against a guy, Caleb, super nice guy, was really patient with me because I was looking up the rules and everything. This is my first, 3rd edition tournament. So he was really nice.
I would imagine, was there a lot of, I noticed in your first round, Frazier, you were, you guys were both talking rules a lot.
Yeah.
Did you feel that most people were pretty caught up on the rules?
I think so. Yeah. Overall, there wasn't anyone I maybe was the least experienced in terms of 3rd edition that that I played against there. Almost everyone that I played against had gotten multiple games in with their list. They had actually prepped for LVO.
3,000 points, right?
I mean, I went to LVO without a single 3,000 point game of 3rd edition.
Gotcha.
So I was kind of behind.
So he was being patient with you because you were a noob.
Yes, he was. Everyone, a reoccurring thing that I'll say multiple times in this video, everyone that I played against and everyone that I met for not just Heresy, but LVO in general were awesome. Yeah. Seriously great people all around. So I played a game against Caleb. He was running Emperor's Children, but he was running Loyalist Emperor's Children.
All right.
Which is a little bit different because he couldn't bring the whatever the Noise Marine.
Oh, sure.
Those guys. He couldn't also he couldn't also use the Tactica. There's a Trader Tactica specifically for them that he couldn't use. And he had a really cool list. He had a Palatine Blade squad, they're super melee veterans, but he didn't have a champion with the Paragon of Battle leading them. He had a librarian.
Okay.
That was using whatever the librarians have a power that gives them basically like an invuln,
Okay.
like a 3-up invuln, something like that.
A good invuln.
Yeah, a very good invuln. And he was using that on them, which came in handy when I shot at those guys with my disintegrators, and once again did not do anything against them.
Okay.
So
theme.
Yep, yeah. Disintegrators on the Terminators, not bad. Disintegrators on power armor, not great. So yeah. This was also a game we used a mission from the journal, the Ishvan journal, and we used battlefield assets.
Okay.
These are basically things that you pull out of the journal, and Reed had a couple extra ones that he had made up for it. But basically, they're like little additional things. You get like so many points before the game starts. You can spend those on whatever type of assets you want. It depends on attacker, defender, right? It's Ishvan. You determine who's attacker, defender. And then basically, these assets can be things like one of the ones I took was a like ammunition crate.
Okay.
And so I could put that ammunition crate anywhere in no man's land. And then any units of mine that were next to that crate would get +1 to their firepower, but it had to be on weapons that were under strength 5, didn't have blast, didn't have ordnance, right? Okay. So I took 2 of those ammo crates, put them on objectives that my headhunters infiltrated on. So the Banestrike combi bolters, strength 4, but they're breaching 6, and now they're 5 shots instead of 4.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. There was also like minefields and stuff, which were really nice for like, okay, hey, like there's a melt a minefield. If your Spartan runs by it, it's gonna take, damage from the mine.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, those battlefield assets were a ton of fun to play with. And yeah, the only thing that I didn't really like about this mission was it was one of those missions where you're on the objective and then you roll off for how many points the objective is worth.
Okay. Is that after the game?
No, so that's during the game.
Okay.
It's you score the objectives at the end, like you score the objectives like normal objectives. But the problem is if you roll a 1 or 2, the objective's worth 0 points.
Yep.
And the way the rules I think that we were playing with was even if you had line 2, you'd still score 0.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
3 rounds or 2 rounds, I had tac squads and rolled 1 or 2 and scored 0 points.
You found empty boxes.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was really the difference maker in whether I won or lost that mission. Again, like I didn't really care one way or another, winning or losing. But it did make it a very lopsided victory for the Emperor's Children, as I scored no points a couple rounds.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of those kind of missions.
Gotcha. I love those missions.
They need to be worth something.
Right.
They can't be 0. Like
usually what I have is if you roll that 1 or 2 on missions like that, they actually explode and do damage to you too. So you got a flight.
I guess so. Yeah. No. The only one cool thing to note is the tournament, the Heresy tournament at large had, obviously awards for like best painted, best trader, best loyalist, all that stuff. They did have an award for Vigilator, which was the longest kill, basically. And on this match against Caleb, I brought Exodus. Exodus has a 72-inch range on his execution shot. And I picked off a Nuncio Vox at 66 inches in this game.
Was that enough to bring you home the trophy?
I don't know, but spoiler alert, I did bring home the trophy on 1 shot. I don't know if 66 would have done it, but the next game I might have hit something a little longer than
All right,
60.
we'll hear about that.
So, and that's a great segue into round 4. Round 4 was the last game on Saturday, and this was a double battle.
So 2 on 2.
2 on 2. This was my first time ever actually doing a double battle.
Okay.
And it was a blast, ton of fun. I played against Nick, the Blood Angels player from round 2 again, as well as Riley, who was running a Imperial Fists armored company.
That's right, and they had I was mentioning the Arquiters with the Bombards.
So 2 Arquiters, they had 2 Saturnine Dreadnoughts.
Beautiful Imperial Fist list.
Yeah, great. I think they had a couple Vindicators as well. Yeah, it was so it was basically it was armored company and Blood Angel, Mastodon, Terminator Squad against myself with Alpha Legion and my partner who was Dark Mechanicum.
Okay, that was a good looking army too.
Yeah, it was a really cool black and gold.
Yep.
Beautiful army. Unfortunately, the mission that we were playing against was another Ishvan mission where the traders were defenders and the attackers were basically well, the loyalists were attackers. And the way that mission scored victory points was the defenders got victory points for each unit they killed. The attackers got victory points for scoring objectives, right? So there were a couple midfield. There was 4 midfield objectives.
Gotcha.
So another kind of rough. My list isn't really designed to go well as a defender. Lots of infiltrate and stuff like that.
Sure.
And to make matters worse, we went first, and then we deployed first, and then the attackers seized the initiative.
Oh, no.
And those headhunters were not in a good spot for seize the initiative. Headhunters got wiped off the board very quickly. It was a pretty lopsided game, but it was a ton of fun. Both Nick and Riley were excellent opponents. There were a lot of laughs. There were a lot of cool moments. My Dark Mechanicum partner was missing almost every scatter dice that he could. I mean, Mechanicum has a ton of template weapons.
Yeah, blast weapons.
And every single one of those was just going all corners of the board. Yeah, it was still a very fun game. And this was the game we played it on because it was a doubles, we did it on a table and a half.
Okay.
And I had Exodus. There was the kind of, we had some kind of Mechanicum terrain on it, and
Sure.
one of them was basically a very large tower at one corner of the board. So of course Exodus is going up there.
Sure.
And he domed a Tech Marine at exactly 72 inches.
Nice. 6 foot shot.
Yep, 6 foot shot. And that was, again, I don't know if they're counting because that was a table and a half. I don't know if that was the shot that did it or if it was the 66 on a regular table, but either one, I did take home the Vigilator trophy for this event. So thank you.
Exodus pulled the shot.
Yeah, kind of a little unfair. Exodus has 72-inch range. Like, there's only a couple things in the game that I think can.
Yeah, I'm still setting that shot up.
Yeah,
shot off and get it off twice. That's pretty cool.
It was a cool moment. The other interesting thing that happened in this game, Saturn Terminators coming through clutch again, this time firing their disintegrators into a couple squads of Cataphracti, and not wiping those squads, but routing them. And that was really, really great. My Praetor also won a challenge against his Praetor. A little unfair because his Praetor was power armor and mine was Saturnine.
Yes.
So, but we take those. The Saboteur this game locked down a tack squad and a Rhino. He had a tack squad and a Rhino in their backfield, and the Saboteur basically posted up right in front of them and was just daring them like, "Hey, try to see me, and if you can't, there's not a whole lot of options for you to move out of the way."
Locked them out.
Yep, and they rolled. Basically, they failed every intelligence check that they had.
Is that how the Saboteur works now? You got to pass it.
Yeah, so you have to basically, if the Saboteur hasn't shot or charged, you have to get within 6 inches of it and pass an intelligence check. Otherwise, you can't shoot or charge it. So he essentially sat there 6 inches away from them.
Have a chance now.
Yeah, and was like, well, it's even better this edition, right? Because if you got 6 inches before, you could just charge or shoot it.
Oh, right.
Now you have to get 6 inches and pass the check.
Right.
They failed the check a couple times, and basically the way that the terrain was set up, they couldn't move anywhere because they couldn't get engagement range. So no, that was a ton of fun, great game. And that was my last game. Overall, talking about the whole trip and everything, I had a blast. It was so much fun playing Heresy at
Makes
LVO.
me happy to hear that.
Yeah, it was great. Everything about the convention I loved. I'm not the biggest fan of Vegas itself.
It's Vegas. Vegas is Vegas.
Yeah, it's just I'm not the type. I don't like gambling, and especially this time, I was very tired after most of these days, so didn't go out and drink much.
I made up for that.
Yeah, you did enough drinking for the both of us. Yeah, but no, it was a great experience, and I'm planning on going back next year.
Awesome.
So
3rd edition and all, one of our early concerns was being able to get games done in time. Did you feel like your games 3,000 point games, 3 hours?
Yeah, no. So again, it was, new edition, learning the rules still a little bit, right? There's still a couple things like, okay, intercept, right? That's, snapshotting, snap firing kind of thing, like little things like that I was kind of having to check.
Sure.
But the games did go pretty fast. And I think once I know all the rules, getting a 3,000 point game in under 3 hours is not going to be a challenge.
Yeah, it seemed like when I was walking around and checking, talking to people, it seemed like almost everybody their games were coming to a natural end. They were getting the full four rounds in 3 hours, and that made me really happy to hear. I think that just how fast and dynamic the game is, like first turn interactions are a lot more common. A lot more assaults, a lot of damage going out right away. I mean, scoring right away. Yeah, it's. I'm glad to hear that. That makes me happy.
That was something else that I kind of learned. We've harped on it multiple times in previous videos. 4-round game, you kind of need transports, and I think everyone was taking transports. Everyone had.
Saw a lot of transports. A lot of tanks, a lot of transports.
Yeah, a lot of Spartans, a lot of Land Raiders, a lot of Rhinos. I think almost every single person had a Rhino. At least
my
one.
list that I was going to play was a Spartan, Land Raider, and 2 Rhinos.
Yeah, I mean, mine was a Spartan, Land Raider, and 1 Rhino. So transport was huge. A lot of people also bringing, tanks, right? So
it's a lot of tanks.
Yeah,
a lot of tank heavy.
Yep, Kranoses and
Predators.
Falchions.
Yeah, I saw like 3 Falchions.
Yeah,
like
crazy.
Yeah.
Especially for a kit that they don't even sell anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So and that kind of brings me into another thing. So my last game was Saturday. Sunday they did have a mega battle, and someone brought Titans and stuff. Someone brought a warlord.
No, War Master.
War Master.
Yeah, I think he lives relatively local. It was there last year, or I guess January. This year as well. That thing's gorgeous. It's awesome, massive,
huge,
massive. Yeah,
yeah. But unfortunately, I don't have anything that I can really bring to the mega battle. So
there's plenty.
Yeah,
but you learned.
You trust me to transport that?
Hell yeah.
Well, maybe next year. That is one thing. Next year, I would like to have something to bring towards to the mega battle. And I'm thinking about I have some plans on maybe a custom Falchion, especially because everyone's bringing tanks and everything. So that might be in my main list, and then might be in the mega battle list, but. Definitely having something for that would have been fun.
I think for me, I've never played in the mega battle just simply because after 2 days of playing, I'm pretty burnt out.
Yeah,
it's the old age I think hitting me. I'm pretty burnt. I'm 54 years old. I get on my feet the whole time. I'm just I'm done. And we're prepping up to leave. We usually leave on Monday. We actually, since I was out, we took off and started our 20-hour drive on Sunday morning.
Yeah,
back.
But. Yeah, and then a couple other things. We talked about a lot of tanks and everything. I don't know any other units that I saw. I really actually didn't see a lot of Saturnine.
I didn't either when I was walking around. I saw a couple Saturnine Dreads. Didn't see a lot of Saturnine Terminators.
No, I think I might have been the only one. No, there was one. Sons of Horus player had some Saturnine.
And I thought I saw. Was it the? So Josh with the 1,000 Suns maybe had some.
Yep. Yeah. So lots of tax squads and stuff. Obviously a lot of librarians. There was an award for killing the most librarians.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Which I thought was very cool. That would be a fun thing to go for next year. I mean, as far as balance, right? This was a narrative game. It wasn't really competitive, but we were keeping track of score and all of that. Definitely my list was not. I think my list was maybe on the weaker side.
Sure.
And I might try to bring a little bit more power next time. Not that it really mattered that much. But I'd probably drop those veteran tax
swap
squad.
Out their weapons. Sure.
Yep. Yeah. I'd maybe run the Saturnine Terminators as a retinue now because their weapons go 5.
Sure.
That kind of just a little bit of tweaks and stuff to it. But no, I mean, otherwise, there wasn't really, other than the Mastodon, I don't think there was a game where I was well, this is unwinnable for me. There's nothing I can do, right? And even then, that wasn't an unwinnable game by any means. Just the Mastodon, I'm not going to do anything against.
Sure.
But everyone there was super friendly. Everyone was really kind of
no heresy community.
Yeah, no one was super meta, right? No one was. I mean,
no one was being too sweaty.
there was a guy that brought like 40 bikes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Every year I've been, I would look at one guy and I'm like, man, you're in it for the passion.
Yeah.
You're in it for the passion. Like this is
Yep.
the World Leader player a couple of years back that had the whole Outrider bikes, whole army.
Yeah.
And in second edition, boy, there's not a worse unit. And I'm like, man, this is so cool. All modeled up to look like brute grinders from Halo. And I'm like, this thing's gorgeous. He's like, thanks. I'm like, how's it do? He's like, it's terrible. I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, but it's so fun to play. And I'm like, right.
Yeah, no. And that's really like, that was definitely the vibes. It was a great experience. Some amazing looking armies. I know
really
Chase from, I think, California had, he was the only other Alpha Legion player. And he had this beautiful camo like Alpha Legion army with these crazy nice like lore write-ups and everything on it. It was an immaculate army.
Iron Warrior army, I think that one appearance, I think
that did.
I had beautiful battle.
Yeah, that was Jay, I think, or Jacob. I forget his name. But beautiful army, incredible display board on that. You know, it was great. So there were some beautiful armies there. You know, hopefully next year. Now that I have a full year to prep for next year.
So you're gonna wait till the last month again?
No, don't. I'm not. Hold me accountable to that. If you see me around the shop and I'm painting something other than Heresy, ask me how my Heresy army's doing. No, I need to get that done because I'd like to try and maybe compete for that next year myself. So,
and I unfortunately won't be at LVO next year. The event I went to before is my family's primary event, Wasteland, and it was announced that Wasteland and LVO are on the same weekend next year. And we're doing Wasteland. So
October is a busy month.
It's a busy month, yeah, for sure.
So, but I will be there next year and
other events.
Yep, and some other events and stuff.
Talking to Blake down in Alabama, trying to make it to one of his events down on the East Coast. So I think more traveling, maybe Adepticon.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. So,
yep. But that kind of wraps up my experience at LVO. Overall, it was a fantastic experience. I had so much fun, great time, met incredible people, and can't wait to go back next year. So
I'll leave it at the what was it, about a year ago when you were starting in Heresy? I didn't give you a choice. I'm like, just so you know, you're going to be traveling to events with me, period. That's how it's going to happen. So prepare for that. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, no,
because it's the best. Traveling to events is great. Meeting people.
It's great. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
anything else?
No, I think that about sums it up.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yep.
Sorry I didn't have much of a recap for you for LVO other than gravel in a tin can, but next time.
Yeah, next time. So
all right.
Thanks,
guys.
Thank y'all.